Welcome to the Horror Hive channel, where the darkness and unknown come alive. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to never miss an episode of terror. Let's dive into the darkness together. Abandoned Barracks, when the dead come back. The abandoned barracks stood tall and imposing in the middle of the forest, surrounded by overgrown weeds and tall grass. It had been a long time since anyone had set foot inside, and it was rumored to be haunted by the spirits of soldiers who had died there during World War II. The old abandoned barracks had always been a source of curiosity for the group of friends. They had heard stories about the spirits that haunted the place, but they never believed them. They thought it would be an exciting adventure to explore the barracks and see for themselves if the stories were true. But the moment they entered the barracks, they knew they had made a grave mistake. As they walked through the dilapidated halls, they couldn't shake off the feeling of being watched. The air was thick with the scent of death and decay, and they could hear the sounds of ghostly moans and screams coming from all around them. As they entered the barracks' main hall, they were shocked to see a group of soldiers standing at attention, their uniforms tattered and their faces gaunt. They were the spirits of the soldiers who had died there, trapped in the barracks for all eternity. The spirits had been trapped in the barracks for decades, unable to find peace. And now that the friends had disturbed their rest, they wanted revenge. As the friends delved deeper into the barracks, the spirits began to reveal themselves. They saw ghostly figures appearing in front of them, their eyes filled with hatred. The friends tried to run, but the spirits were everywhere, blocking their escape. One by one, the spirits began to attack, dragging the friends into the darkness, never to be seen again. The remaining friends were in a state of panic, desperately trying to find a way out. But the spirits were relentless, they seemed to be closing in on them from all sides. The friends were trapped, with no way to escape. And as the spirits closed in, they knew that they had sealed their own fate. In the end, the friends had managed to find a hidden door that led to underground tunnels. They were able to escape the spirits and reach the surface. But they did not escape unscathed. They were forever traumatized by the experience, and they knew that they would never forget the horrors they faced in the abandoned barracks. Even though they made it out alive, the spirits had claimed the lives of their friends, and now they would be forever trapped in the barracks, forever seeking revenge. The abandoned cemetery, when the dead can't lie still. In the small town of Ravenswood, there was an abandoned cemetery that had been untouched for decades. The townsfolk whispered that the graves were cursed and that the dead buried there couldn't rest. But no one dared to go near the place, not even the bravest among them. That was until a group of thrill-seeking teenagers decided to explore the cemetery on a dare. They laughed and joked as they entered the gate, but their bravado quickly turned to fear as they realized that something was not right. The headstones were knocked over and the graves were dug up, as if something or someone had been digging them up. The hair on the back of their necks stood up and they had an overwhelming sense of dread. They heard strange noises coming from the shadows and saw movement out of the corner of their eyes. They were terrified and wanted to leave, but they couldn't find their way back. They stumbled upon an old mausoleum and decided to take shelter inside. But as soon as they entered, the door slammed shut behind them and they were trapped. They were horrified to find that the mausoleum was filled with coffins and the dead were rising from the graves. The teenagers were trapped, with no way out and no one to hear their screams as the dead closed in on them. They soon realized that they had disturbed the resting place of the dead, and they would have to pay the ultimate price. The small town of Ravenswood would never be the same again, as the curse of the abandoned cemetery had come to life and claimed more victims. The Dark Forest, when spirits hunt the living. In the heart of the dense, dark forest, there lies a place that is said to be cursed. The locals call it the Dark Forest, and they warn outsiders to stay away. They say that the spirits of the dead roam the forest at night, hunting for the living. Group of friends decided to take a camping trip deep into the woods. They had heard the legends of the Dark Forest, the stories of spirits that roamed the area, but they didn't believe in such nonsense. They laughed and joked as they set up camp, building a fire and telling ghost stories. But as the night went on, strange things began to happen. They heard eerie noises coming from the forest, as if something was following them. The fire flickered and danced, casting eerie shadows on the trees. The friends tried to ignore it, but the feeling of unease grew stronger with each passing moment. As they settled down for the night, one of the friends, Tom, decided to take a walk in the woods. The others begged him to stay, but he brushed off their concerns, saying he just needed some fresh air. But Tom never came back. The group searched for him frantically, calling out his name, but there was no answer. They found his camping gear scattered on the ground, as if he had fled in a hurry. And then they saw them, the spirits. They were tall and thin, with long arms and fingers that reached out towards them. Their eyes glowed in the darkness, and their mouths were wide open, revealing sharp teeth. They moved with a fluid grace, as if they were not bound by the laws of physics. The friends ran in terror, but the spirits were fast, and they were relentless. One by one, they were hunted down, their screams echoing through the forest. Only a few made it out alive, but they were forever changed by the experience. They told their story to anyone who would listen, but no one believed them. They knew that the spirits of the Dark Forest were real, and they would always be out there, waiting for their next victims. We hope you enjoyed our journey into the world of horror. We strive to bring you the best in horror entertainment, and we appreciate your support. Remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of terror. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in our next story.